Really, I feel so honored, humbled, and tensed to stand in front of you to accept this great award, IEEE KPP Nambiar Award for 2025. I humbly accept this award on behalf of the 20,000 employees of Department of Space who are responsible for me to stand here to receive this award. You all will accept with me the activities in the Department of Space or ISRO cannot be accomplished by a single person. It is purely a teamwork. And today we are having little less than 20,000 employees. I think each and every one, irrespective of their position in the organization, is a pillar of the organization. Also, something around 50,000 people in the country is contributing for the space program. It is only because of them I am standing in front of you to receive this award. Let me dedicate this award to the space community of India. And this award is a great recognition, that too, one of the greatest son of the soil, KPP Nambiar. I think as a young boy, when I joined in ISRO 1984, I know a little bit about KPP Nambiar because when I joined in much junior level in the organization. And I still remember, if I'm correct, it was in the year 1987 or 88 beginning. You know, nowadays there are a lot of telephone connections in the office. Wherever you go, every room you can make either through the mobile connectivity or through the landline connectivity, you can have STD connections. But those days it was very, very difficult. I joined in Matyurkau. I think you all know Surya Krishnamurthy. And he, because of Nambiar, KPP Nambiar, he got a new telephone exchange. I think Rajarajan may be knowing. And that was established in ISRO unit Matyurkau. And we were celebrating that day. We have so many, every room one telephone connection. Today it is very easy, but those days it was not that easy. That too I understand. Without placing the purchase order, KPP Nambiar approved and it was established and the purchase order, everything was done off late and the money was paid. That's what I understand. Now, I think to this august audience, I can understand to become a IEEE member, what is involved. I am basically a mechanical background and did MTech in cryogenics and PhD in aerospace. But for us, always, electronics means we look at little sky level, we look at. Because those days, yes, mechanical and electronics both are equal, but then even then electronics people, we have little more respect to them. And from that, getting a membership in IEEE and becoming a president, vice president, I think it is something unique. And today, when I asked throughout the world, something around 5 lakh members and Kerala chapter 17,000 members, what a unique association it is. And your contribution for the country, if I have to talk hours and hours. Because there was a time electronics, where we were, and today we are in the growing path, exponentially growing path. Coming to the greatest son of soil, KPP Nambiar, it was told he returned in the year 1963. That was the time really the Indian space program just started. 62, even though the space activities were started November 21st, 1963, only the first tiny rocket lifted off. That is the time he has returned. After working great organizations like Texas Instruments, he has come back. But 63 to 86, when he retired, in 23 years, the contribution what he has made is equivalent to 100 years contribution. That is the type of contribution what he has made. And working, establishing the Electronics R&D Center, and as it was told, first silicon transistor radios in 1968. Those days, studying about the transistor itself is something great. And he is establishing that type of facilities and founding Keltron. Today, one of our dearmost friends, dearmost mentor, Narayanamurthy sir is sitting there and he has made it as a net profitable organization today. And then CMD of ITA, Secretary of Department of Electronics, and then the CDAC and establishing Technopark. I think each and every organization today some youngster with highly accomplished career can reach to only one position. Either he can become a ITA CMD, or he can become Caltron CMD, or ER&C, which is the CDAC. I am also a governing council member today. I understand what CDAC is, what their accomplishment. I think how he could manage in contributing multiple areas, it's a very, very mind-boggling. So on his name, receiving an award, really, I consider as a great honor and privilege. Let me thank IEEE Kerala chapter for really honoring me, honoring my team, honoring the Department of Space with this great award. I still remember I was here when Mr. Somnath was given this award, and that time I never thought that I am going to come and receive this award. And I understand it's a great honor, that much only I can tell. And that too, the IEEE chapter here, there are great personalities, even though started by him. There are great personalities like R.M. Vasagam. Today, satellite is a technology like a child play we can conceive and build. The first communication satellite, Apple, when I joined in our organization, I think at that point of time itself, he was the project director. Vasagam was the project director of Apple. Apple is not the apple what we eat, or not the laptop what we use. And it is the first communication satellite. At that point of time, today there are so many project directors. We have so many projects are there. That time, very unique projects. And he was picked up for that unique project, and it was a grand successful mission. So he was there. And today, of course, we have got a lot of senior people. I think each and every one of you have got unique contribution. Now, Manoj, first of all, let us give you a big hand. Last year, he was also selected for the Best Teacher Award. I think he was given that award by none other than the President of India. And dear friends, when you come to the role of electrical, electronics and communication engineers for the growth of the country, I think when I look at the communication, if you take the communication as a sector, I think your contribution is something unique and great contribution. Why unique? Probably I joined in ISRO 42 years back. 84 I joined. And that is the time. Why 84? 84 from 1993 I got the opportunity after my MTech. I was sent to Russia for the technology acquisition of cryogenic technology. That time from Russia, there was my own experience. I was there for 10 months. I was in Russia. Can you guess how many times I have contacted, my native place is Kanyakumari. How many times I have contacted my parents and talked with them over telephone? Any guess? Your answer is correct. It was less than 5 times, but it was 0. I could not contact any time because near to my at least 7 kilometers radius, if you have to make a phone call, they have to come 8 kilometers, come to Nagarkoil, then only the access to phone connection was there. And I could not make any phone call. And that time, from Trivandrum, if you have to make a phone call to Ernakulam, what is involved? Somebody has to come from office, somebody has to come to Tambanur and wait in the telephone booth, and then you have to make a call. And today, what has happened? I think who are all not having mobile connectivity, can you raise your hand? My God, everybody is having. And everybody, who are all having 2 mobile connections? I think a lot of people are having 2 mobile connections. And making a call to outside the country very easy. I think your contribution in that area is so excellent. There was a time you talk about electronic products, let it be transistor, capacitor, or whatever products, semiconductors. I think in this country, nothing was there. And everything we had to only depend on somebody else, and we were importing. But today, we are extremely happy in this country. Lot of good things have happened. Electronic products. Of course, lot more has to be done, but first let us appreciate ourselves. Then look at what has to be done. But lot of growth, lot of electronics products have rolled out. And I think you have great contribution towards that. Today, when you talk about when I was a student, probably for you people, the computer hardware may be very nothing, because every day you are playing. And for us today, yes, it is nothing. But when 30 years back, somebody is working in a computer, the When somebody says that somebody has joined in a computer science course, we look at them with great respect. Am I right? 30, 35 years back. Today, the computer, what has happened, revolution has happened in our country. I think you have got great role to play. And in ISRO, there was a time, onboard computer, everything was imported and we had to only assemble and do some tests and we were doing. But today, I'm happy that Vikram processor, there were two processors we have developed. One of the processor almost 16 years back and it is flying, Vikram, if I'm correct, 16 processor, 1016 series processor. And last year, the 32-bit processor is indigenously developed along with VSSC and SCL together, and that processor is going to be flown. And the role of the electronics and communication engineers in every field, let it be communication, let it be semiconductor, let it be electronic goods or electronic products, television sets, laptops, I think lot of contribution. When it comes to ISRO, I cannot imagine a launch vehicle. I cannot imagine a satellite without the contribution of electronics, communication, and electrical engineers. I think nothing can lift off. And that is their role. And dear friends, I think each and every one of your role is very unique for the country. When Honorable Prime Minister is working towards the Viksit Bharat 2047, this is one of the important area it has to grow. For example, the semiconductor industry, something around, I am also a Empowered Technology Group member where the principal scientific advisor is chairing. In fact, last year we cleared 57,000 crore for establishing the semiconductor labs in our country. And now also a lot of proposals are there. I think the growth is very, very significant. Now coming to ISRO, when KPP Nambiar sir has written 1963, that was the time. November 21st, we made the first tiny rocket lifted off from India. And that tiny rocket, it doesn't belong to us. It was given by the USA. And the payload came from France and everything was assembled, probably every one of you know, and it lifted off from Tumba. From that humble beginning, at that point of time, 1963, 1961, April 12th is a very historic day. And the Yuri Gagarin, the first human being, is sent to space and he has come back safely. And 1969, August 15, ISRO was formed. And 1969, August 15, ISRO was formed. 1969, July 20th, again a historic day in the space activities of the global community. Neil Armstrong has successfully soft landed on the moon and he has come back safely. And that is the time we are starting, we are putting our luck in the like a LKG level, we are putting our luck. From that, today, if you see the growth, the growth is so significant. 1963, a country which got a small tiny rocket from USA. 2025, December, we are lifting off the heaviest satellite from Indian soil, the Bluebird 2 communication satellite built by USA. 6,000 kg communication satellite using our own rocket Mark III purely on commercial basis. That is the type of growth what has happened. Getting a tiny rocket from USA, launching their communication satellite, and that happened to be the heaviest satellite lifted from India. And it was 24th December, I still remember, morning we were all taking breakfast and US team was also there. And during the chat, I asked them, we were supposed to place the satellite in 500 kilometer plus minus 15 kilometer. 15 kilometer dispersion is possible. So we asked a simple question. If you are to be happy, please tell what is the dispersion within which we have to place the satellite. And then they were going on thinking and they were telling, if you can place less than 6 kilometer dispersion, we'll be happy. Then I asked, what is that 6 kilometer? Why that magic number of 6 kilometer? Then they told the assured accuracy of SpaceX vehicle is 6 kilometer. They also get sometime lower than that, but assured accuracy is 6 kilometer. Instantaneously, I told them, we will place less than 3 kilometer dispersion. But that time they didn't believe. They thought the Indians climb lot of things and probably this is a statement. That day, it is not a statement just like that made. We were working towards that to achieving less than 3 kilometer accuracy. Finally, today we are placed with 2.1 kilometer dispersion. That is one of the best orbit what is achieved by the global community. And that is the type of achievement what was done by Indian launcher, the Mars 3. Another thing, the July 30th was another historical day last year. We placed the NASA satellite, NISR satellite, NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar satellite. One of the costliest satellite ever built in the world. 13,500 crore is invested and spent by the USA. JPL USA has spent 13,500 crore to build a SAR payload and a 12-meter unfurlable antenna. And we have built a similar SAR payload spending only 25% of that cost. 25% of that cost. But then when our friends told 25% of that cost, I took a separate view. Are we correct in committing that? We are correct because they have made lot of models, structural model, engineering model. Finally, only they have built the actual payload. But we are very cost conscious and we don't waste lot of money, and we spend lot of time in the digital simulation and we have built the similar payload. And finally, the entire satellite was conceived and built by Indians in India and lifted successfully by the Mark II rocket, for which the upper stage cryogenic technology was denied by the global community. And we have built our own technology, and that is the rocket which placed the NISR successfully in the orbit. And today I am very happy to inform that every 12 days satellite is covering the earth and it is giving lot of data. That is the type of growth what has happened. Now, the first satellite was built by us and launched 19th April 1975, 50 years back. And at that point of time, our knowledge on the satellite technology was very, very limited. And Professor URA was the project director, and then the entire satellite was conceived, built with the support of USSR. Finally, USSR rocket lifted, launched. Today, to our credit, something around 135 satellites of different types: navigation purpose, communication purpose, earth observation purpose, and scientific missions. So, a lot of things we have done, and we have placed 135 satellites in the orbit. And launch vehicle, we started with a humble beginning. You all know the Abdul Kalam ji. He was the first project director of SLV-3. And 1979, we attempted the first launch of SLV-3, but then it was not 100% success. It was a 98% success. Mission could not be accomplished. And 1980, we had the first launcher successful. From that, gradually we have moved. Today we have built 6 generations of launchers. And last year, January 29th, we had the opportunity to successfully place the 100th satellite launch successfully accomplished in ISRO, and we have written in the golden history of Indian history. Coming to the application, again, till 50 years back, space was there in our country, but there was no space application. And it was 1st August 1975, we demonstrated through the SITE experiment, first time mass communication through the satellite technology. And that satellite itself, ATS-6, was given by none other than USA. From that, today, to our credit, 50 plus satellite applications in the telecommunication, television broadcasting, disaster warning and mitigation, and then scientific area, and whatnot, earth observation, and so many applications. And a country which was not having satellite technology and launch vehicle technology, today 434 satellites, 433 satellites of 34 countries we have launched from Indian soil. And last year, lot of good things are done. A heaviest communication satellite, 4000 kg, 4010 kg CMS-03 satellite was also placed in the GTO. That is the heaviest satellite ever placed in the geo-transfer orbit using the Indian launcher. And 13 Rohini sounding rockets has been, even though it goes silently, there was a time to get the success of Rohini sounding rocket itself. It was a great achievement. 13 sounding rockets have been lifted off successfully from Indian soil. And Aditya alone, the India is the 4th country which has built a satellite to study the sun, and 20 terabit data from Aditya L1, we are rolled out. And today you can go through the data. Lot of good scientific data is there. And there was a IEEE experiment. Then, of course, the space is always challenge. And in the space technology, there is no partial success. Either you get 100 out of 100 or 0 out of 100. That is the place we stand. And to us, there were again challenges. We had to learn couple of setbacks, and we are learning and we are putting our system back. For example, our own workhorse PSLV, we had a setback and in fact 2 vehicles, and then we are learning and we are trying to put back everything back track. And yesterday, day for yesterday, Artemis 2, you all know it is an important program for the humankind after almost 53 years. Now the heavy rocket, already 4 astronauts are in the orbit, and surely it will be a grand successful mission. And towards that also, if you look at the electronics and communication community, global community, their role is very, very key role. Automated way, everything has to happen, hardware development, software development, everything. Now, when you look at Indian space program, I think even though we started, we used to move our rocket with old bicycle era. Today, we are in a different stature. At least 10 places we are number 1 in the world. Chandrayaan 1 finding water molecule, we can be really proud. And Chandrayaan 2, which has placed the best camera in the orbit, and India is having the best camera in the moon's orbit, the OHRC camera with 32 centimeter resolution. And Chandrayaan 3 successfully soft landing, first time near South Pole of Moon. And Mars orbiter mission, even though so many countries have successfully achieved, it is India, Bharat, which accomplished this mission first time. First attempt itself successfully accomplished, and placing 104 satellites using a single rocket. 1957, the first Sputnik was placed, first man-made satellite was placed in orbit by USSR, and to their credit, 37 satellites using a single rocket they placed. But then India is the first country which placed more than 100 satellites in a single go using a single PSLV. And you already seen the video. The technology which was denied to us, the cryo technology, we have developed, and today we are having 3 world records in the cryogenic technology. And solid propulsion system, my boss, Mr. Jnana Gandhi sir, used to tell, those days they make small motor and then making they take lot of time, but blasting they take only milliseconds. And most of the solid motor used to get blasted and come back. From that humble beginning, today, the Mark 3 rocket, with just 2 static thrusts. It is a 207 tons propellant loaded solid motor, developing 600 plus ton thrust. And just with 2 static thrusts, we went for experimental mission, and it was a grand successful performance. So that is yet another world record I considered, and done a lot of things. And last year, an organization which has moved forward with a mixed challenges. There were accomplishments, there were challenges for opportunities for learning. And then if you look at the credit, there were 2 Padma Awards for ISRO activities. Dr. A. Muthanayagam, who is the founding father of the propulsion system, both solid, liquid, cryogenic, he is honored with the Padma Shri Award for his contribution. Of course, multiple areas he has contributed. Main area is for the contribution towards the space activities. Another award, Mr. Krishnamurthy, one of the industrialists who is working in material development, copper material, OHRC, oxygen-free high conductivity copper development, he is given the Padma Award. Then Axiom 4 program, you all know. Today, it was a grand successful mission, but then I would like to just little more narrate. The mission was done on June 25th. Originally, it was targeted on June 11th. And June 10th, after moving the Falcon rocket, the first stage is having 9 engines, and they are supposed to do a 7-second test. After the test, they don't show the result to us. They need not, as per the contractual obligation, they need not show the result to us, because we have signed a contract with the Axiom company, and that company in turn have got the contract with the SpaceX team. And then just we asked, we were camping there, my friend Mr. Mohan, today he is not there, the former LPSC director, and so many, some 14 members were there. We asked a question, how was the test result? They told it was fantastic, everything is cleared and we are going ahead with the countdown. Can you source a couple of graphs? They told no, as per contractual application, we need not show to you. Fine. But night, we are seeing a small news item. There was a minor leakage in the rocket, but then it is a minor, and the American team has cleared and they are going ahead with the launch. Then we demanded a discussion. And when we started discussing only, we understood with our limited knowledge. In fact, I am working along with my team at least 35 years in the same field. If there is a leakage, we asked a question, the leakage, was it constant or varying? They told little bit varying. If it is varying, it is a crack only. This is our conclusion. And then we told, why don't you address the leak and go ahead? They told nothing. We are going ahead, countdown activities going on. And 11th morning, 8:30 supposed to be the launch. And 10th evening, 5:15, because of our insistence, you can understand 6,000 people from throughout the world has come for participating in the launch, because it is not only Subhash Shukla is going, 4 Gaganyatris from 4 countries, including 1 American has to go, and 6,000 people are there. And because of the Indians' insistence, the launch was called off on 10th evening, 5:15. And you can understand the situation in a foreign country. Based on the Indians' insistence, when it is called off, what type of ill feeling will be there? And they were 100% clear at that point of time. It was an unwanted call off. But when you insist, your partner, and surely they could not proceed. But then throughout night, they were working morning, they informed, they have found out. In fact, when somebody is telling there is a leak, so only we'll ask a question, no, where is the leak? What is the leak rate? These are all fundamental questions. Unfortunately, we could not get the proper answer. And next day they came and told, we have located the leak. Then I thought the problem is simple. Then we asked what happened. Then they were telling there is a small crack in the main field line. With the crack, if your rocket lifts off, it will not lift off. Rocket will be there only and there will be disaster. And finally, everything was corrected. After 11 days, it was accomplished well. But I would like to tell, I will not claim credit for individuals. I will say it is the Indian education system. It is the ISRO training. We have proved to the world we are second to none, even in holding a human-rated rocket in the last minute to ensure safety of the Gaganyatris. But for that insistence, probably it would have been a very catastrophic situation. That's what I understand with my limited knowledge. Surely a crack sitting there, and when a rocket is lifting off, it can give away. And dear friends, not only that, last year, we also got the Ashok Chakra recognition for Subhash Shukla and for the space activity. And Paramir Chakra, not Paramir, Kirti Chakra, if I'm correct, to Prasant Nair. And we also got, of course, he got the Best Teacher Award, a Vigyan Sri Award, that is also a very highest award. And then Vankarmer Award for our former chairman, Mr. Somnath. All these awards, don't think that I am giving advertisement of awards. This shows the global community, the national level people, their recognition for the Indian space activities, which started with the bullock cart era. Today, we have reached to this level. That shows that capability. And towards that, when you talk about a space mission, the success, if you ask who are all the people, who are all the community belongs to that, is it mechanical engineer? Is it chemical engineer? It is encompassing all the people, and the electronics and communication engineer has got great role. Electrical people has got great role to play. I think Gopalakrishnan, so many people, I think I can talk about individuals. I'm not going to talk that level. I think your role, the control system team, and your role is a very, very significant role. Now, let me not dwell further. And lot of activities are there in front of us. At least we have to increase the number of satellites to 2 to 3 times for meeting the country's requirement. And we are having our own Gaganyaan program. And Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji is a visionary leader. He has rolled out the vision for the space sector. The private sectors are brought. Space sector reform is brought. Today, 400 plus startup companies are working in this area. And we are going to build our own space station. And based on the direction of Honorable Prime Minister, we are also working for multiple programs. And I can only tell one thing. Under the guidance and visionary leadership of our Prime Minister of India, Indian space activity is really exponentially growing by a country which started the activity with LKG level. In 1963, when people were 1969, we were purely in LKG level. When other countries were landing on moon and going to space, I can only make one statement: with the visionary leadership of Narendra Modi ji, our Prime Minister of India, by 2040, we will be in par with Indian space activity, will be in par with any other country in terms of launcher technology, spacecraft technology, application, and infrastructure. And we will contribute for the Viksit Bharat 2047. Let me once again thank the IEEE team for your recognition of the space community of India through the KPP Nambiar Award. All the very best for each and every one of you and your family members. Thank you. Jai Hind.